Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I wanted to talk to you today about a topic that you may or may not actually be aware of. I know that there is a huge obstacle for most people when it comes to worrying about what other people think. And you may say to yourself, well, that's not me, or I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not worried about that. But in our age of social media and a lot of the expectations that are placed on individuals in society, I believe it's one of our biggest obstacles right now today, even more so than in the past, for creating success in your life and in your business or even with your relationships. And so before I get started on a few ideas on how to help you with this, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Just kind of open up your minds a bit. And I want you to really understand what it is in your behavior that maybe will hold you back. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to think about whether this describes you or not. And one of the reasons I really wanted to share this topic with you is I read an article just recently by Kathleen Hurst, and it talked about several strategies you can use to stop worrying about what other people think. But I want you to think for a minute about whether or not some of these statements I'm going to read to you describe you. So let me go ahead and get started. First of all, are you afraid to say what you really think? Do you get in a group or in a setting and you're sort of afraid to say what's on your mind? Or are you constantly thinking that people are upset with you and maybe they really aren't, right? Or do you do things that you don't really want to do and then regret it afterwards? That's something sometimes we're not even aware that we do. We do things that we don't want to do, but we regret it afterwards. And that's probably because you worry about what people think. Or do you find it hard to do something different and maybe you're a little scared to do something different, or in other words, get out of your comfort zone? And generally that's because you're worried about what people think of you. Another good description for people that worry are, do you avoid certain people? Do you avoid those people because you're scared maybe they don't like you or you don't fit in, or maybe that you don't impress them enough? Do you avoid certain people? And finally, do you do what others tell you to do and find it hard to sort of make decisions yourself? In other words, are you more of a follower than a leader? And that could very well be because you're worried about what other people think. These are all signs that you worry too much about what other people think. And I know that the obvious is that we worry, on social media, how we look, how we come across, how we project ourselves. But I'm talking about how it affects your behavior in general. And I think it's very important that you identify what it is in your behavior that, because of your worry of impressions of other people, it's holding you back in your business. It's important for you to identify your specific behavior. So what I want to do is I want to give you a few ideas on how to stop worrying so much and how to stop having your behavior affected by that, because I think this will help you take it to a new level, whether it's your business, your life, your relationship. And there's 7 different strategies that I think you can do that with. Number 1, think about why you care. Number 1, I want you to think about why you care about what other people think. Look, I know that today, and especially today in our society, we're conditioned to worry about what you present for your brand, for your image, for your, the way you dress, the way you act. But if you really think about that, you'll become more aware of the problem. And the more aware you become of the problem, the better that you can fix it. So think about why you even care what other people think. Number 2, focus on being in the moment. Because when you focus on being in the moment, it does a couple of cool things for you. Number 1, it'll distract you from worrying about the future or what's going to happen or what people will think of you. And also it gets you grounded in the present moment, which gives you more fulfillment, more execution, passion, and more results in general. So number 2, focus on being in the moment. Number 3, I'd like you to think about, first of all, people don't normally care. So that's really number 3. I was trying to think of how to say it, but the bottom line is just know that people don't really care about you as much as you think. Most people are just like you. They're more focused on themselves and how they look and how they act. And trust me, if you think about it from your perspective, most people are spending as much time as you are worried about themselves, and they're not going to spend time worrying about you. So just know that people don't care as much as you actually think they do. And I mean that in a good sense. Number 4, and this is a 4th strategy that you can do to stop worrying so much about what people think. Practice acceptance and self-love. See, one of the problems that a lot of us have today is that we lack self-confidence and self-esteem. And we lack confidence and self-esteem for a lot of reasons, but one of those is that we worry too much about what people think. So when you start to practice self-love, acceptance, focusing on you becoming a better person, it takes away the focus on what other people think of you. Because the only confidence and esteem you're going to get is by working within and not without. When you practice things like meditation, healthy living, working out, exercise, when you focus on taking care of you, your self-esteem and your confidence will go up, and you'll learn to worry less about what other people think. Number 5, find your group of people. And this goes back to one of our prosperity pillars we have, which is surround yourself with successful, positive people. When you surround yourself with your group, individuals that you can trust and respect and have loyalty and honesty to, they're going to be able to create the validation you have. They're going to have common goals. You're going to worry less about what they think of you. And when you surround yourself with that peer group, individuals that have common goals, whether it's a mastermind, business, relationships, or whatnot, that's going to allow you to become less focused on what other people think of you and worry less about that. Number 6, understand you can't please everyone. This is so critical. The bottom line is it's better to be loved by a few than liked by everyone. You've probably heard that before. It's better to be loved by a few than liked by everyone. Just understand you're not going to please everyone. You will absolutely have critics. Everyone's going to have critics. It's part of the process of success. And when you realize that that comes along with success, you'll expect the critics. You'll expect criticism. You'll expect people to not think the best about you, and it won't bother you so much because you need to understand that you can't please everyone. Okay, that was number 6. Number 7, this is the last one. Know that life is just too short to worry about what other people think. Bottom line is life is short. You've got plenty of things to do to take you towards your goal. You have plenty of things that are going to take you where you want to be. The last thing you want to do is let the thoughts of other people and the worry about what other people think steal your dreams, steal your time, steal your productivity, steal your effectiveness. And when you realize that life is too short to be worried about it, you'll worry less. So, bottom line is this. There's 7 different things that I think you can help yourself with. Think about why you even care in the first place. Focus on being in the moment. Know that people don't normally care and don't worry about what they think. Practice your self-love and acceptance. Find your group of people. Understand that you can't please everyone. And when you know that life is just short, you can stop worrying so much about what other people think. I think if you will learn to create unshakable focus, dedication, drive, and commitment, you will start to learn that the impressions and thoughts of others are not significant in your journey. It only matters what those few people in your inner circle that you love and care about think about you. And that's the thought I wanted to share with you today. I'd like you to think about that today and throughout the week. Stop worrying so much about your activities to push other people to liking you, and start worrying about creating success and influencing others.
Once again, my name is George Wright III. I'm looking forward to talking with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day.